Humans are horrible creatures. And the reason I say so is because we are very terrible at, focusing on the actual issues of life. The thing that actually made me think about this is recently in Nigeria there's been a whole lot of what would be the word? There's been a whole lot of killings and very very unnecessary things and hatred towards a certain demographic, and honestly this has always been sat very very wrong with me. It's never really sat properly with me when it came to this, because it seems like the most useless thing to be very bothered on. And I'm talking about the thing about homophobia, and it's a very very general issue that we have right now, and it's not just in Nigeria. I mean, we do have a very high rate of homophobia here, but it's not really how would I explain it? It's not really just about Nigeria, and it's not also just about homophobia. It's anything, whether it's homophobia, racism, tribalism, anything that involves the hatred of another person for things that they cannot change is the most useless thing that I've ever seen. The people in Nigeria would literally sit down and decide to go beat up somebody, right? That that is gay. Mind you, it's not a rapist, just gay, because that person is gay, but would walk around all willy-nilly with pedophiles, rapists, and then will be like, oh no, those people are just those people. Because they are straight, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's sad to see. And I really can't stand the fact that that's a thing. And it's not even just in Nigeria. It's like a general thing, like I was saying. But it gets to a point where it's like, are you being serious? Is this really how you want it to go? Is this really how you want life to be for you? You're in a country that is currently one of the most corrupt countries ever. You have politicians that will outrightly tell you to your face that you are worth nothing, and they do not care. They are only there to steal from you. And as a Nigerian youth, what you should be doing is selling akara and what's it called? What's the other thing? Roasting corn, kuli kuli. That's what the first lady of an entire country is telling her youth to do, because there is no what's it called? There's no job available, and you're like, oh, you can create jobs for yourselves. Oh my god, really? And the reason why I get pissed off about this type of things, right, is because you see these type of things and nobody is focused on any of it. The only thing that they are focused on or bothered about is, oh, is that person going to church? Oh, a Christian wouldn't do that. Now Yoruba people cause this one. Is what they call it? It's Hausa people that cause this one. Also, that's another thing that has never sat well with me, where they like generalize every what's it called person, every what would be what I use, every Hausa person or somebody from the north as a bandit. Because how? Because yes, the bandits that we see are typically from the north, but that doesn't mean that you now generalize everybody from that area as a bandit. That's kind of like the same logic that white people use when they clutch their purses around black people. Does that make any sense? No, you feel hatred towards one, but when you do it to another demographic that is in quote unquote lesser in population than you feel that, oh yeah, it's right because I'm the one that is not being hurt by it. You see how like stupid that sounds? In general, it's a constant loop of hatred, and nobody really realizes it on time till it's like way too late, and and they have passed it down from one generation to another. I remember this one time where I was in church, and this it was like it was a Bible study, right? So in Bible study you get to like raise your hand, you ask questions, it's a discourse. And then one person raised their hand and was like, hey, why aren't Christian? I feel that the reason why, because mind you, if there's one thing that you can 100% give to Christians is victimization, or anybody in religion in general, but like victimization when it comes to Christianity is like It's 5 and 6 pretty much. Yeah, it's always there, and it's very, very annoying to see, because you would have somebody stand up in a church, mind you, that we preach peace, and you'd be like, oh, the solution to the problem of being killed by terrorists, because in Nigeria we have like terrorist groups. We have Boko Haram, we have a bunch of all of those people. I will never justify killing another person for no reason. Like, innocent bloodshed is useless. It's the most stupid thing ever, and it usually stems from religion, which is why I am very openly anti-religion. I hate the fact that you're going to use your religion as an excuse to be able to do something so heinous to another person. So back to what I was saying, the person in church, right, was like, oh, she raised up her hand, mind you. She raised up her hands like, oh, I feel that if Christians are just as violent as the Muslims, she's now referring to the terrorist group as all Muslims, that then we wouldn't have this problem, that we should all just get guns. And I'm like, and people were cheering in the church. That's the worst part. People were dead ass cheering in the church, and that never sat well with me. I was just like, that's very irritating behavior. That's a very irritating thought for you to have, because like, you're basically saying to yourself that yes, whatever it is, that the violence I'm going to do back to them is justified because of the violence they are currently doing to me. And you're not even attacking the particular group of people that are actually doing it to you. You're saying this as per general Muslims, people who have nothing to do with it, the people you see in your regular workplace. And that was like something I kept seeing over and over again. But in general, I just find it very disgusting of how people think. They don't think properly. They would literally see, especially in Nigeria, I'm going to keep using Nigeria as a case study because those are the people that I'm around. I can see, I can watch their behaviors. They hate somebody being different from them so much, to the point where they'd rather kill that person that is different in the slightest way because they are doing a certain thing, rather than the actual sick things that are happening. You have child rapists in your family. In fact, in the average Nigerian family, you have a child rapist in there. You have an uncle that you know damn well is a pedophile. You've seen that uncle touch kids. You know damn well that your brother, or especially in very large families, that your brother, that your sister is not even just it's not just towards men, right? It's not just dedicated to just men. There's female pedophiles. There's that auntie that you know is very, very weird when it comes to around your kids, and you see them around your kids and you zip your mouth and say nothing. But if that person was gay, if that person was in any way or form slightly altered or different in your book, maybe has female mannerisms, or isn't just as typically masculine as the rest, all of a sudden it's a problem. We need to eradicate this person. God forbid, to fiakwa, aru. The next thing you know, it has become a taboo because that person it likes another guy. Mind you, the person that likes another guy didn't go rape anybody. He didn't force anybody into anything. But that person that is forcing your child into having sex with them, that's suddenly that's a good thing. Yeah, that person is not as bad because the person is likes females. Yeah, see how fucking sick that is? Do you see how like useless that can be? Like, it never makes any sense to anybody who has a brain. It's stupid. And at the end of the day, most people will never change when it comes to this type of thing. There would never be any what would be the word? There'd never be any actual change, because people like staying the same. They hate anything that involves growth mentally. They see anything out, especially because of religion. Now, mind you, I'm not hating on anybody who is a Christian. I'm not hating on anybody who is a Muslim. But if you cannot decipher or use your own brain to think out and be like, this thing that they are teaching me might actually be more hurtful, like do more harm than good, If your brain has not been able to think and be like, why exactly am I even hating these gay people? If you're a Christian, right, like you said, and it's supposed to be at the end of the day is for God to judge, why in the fuck are you deciding that you're the one who is going to take matters into your own hands and beat up some gay guy? You're not beating that person, or and for the people who be like, oh, some of the gays used to force the other people into doing it. Shut up, that's a lie. That's a lie. You, as the what's it called, as the homophobic parent, don't just want to believe that your kid is gay. You just don't want to believe that your child actually enjoyed what was going on consensually between him and the other boy. Because I've noticed it a lot where it's now the discourse isn't really with the females, where like there's lesbians or whatever, right, where it's like girls on girls. It's never like that. It's always when it's guys on guys that it becomes such a disgusting thing that you want to square up, and like not even square up, you just want to harm the people. You would hear people being in their rooms. Mind you, these people have committed way worse crimes than the person that is gay. The person that's gay probably has never committed a crime in their life. Somebody who has killed someone before, who has raped someone before, who has been a pedophile, moved towards kids before, somebody who has been done the most heinous things before, will sit down and be like, because me, I am straight, because I am attracted to women, I am better than you, so that means I get to kill you. See how stupid that sounds? Do you see how dumb that is? You genuinely are just dirt. They're just the worst of the worst. And I know this is like a long rant, and honestly, if you stay to the end of this rant, I'm only going to leave you with one thing. Love people, man. There's a whole lot of hate within yourself, for yourself, that you decide to just push onto other people, and instead of working on it and actually loving yourself and learning to love other people, a gay person is not going to come up to you and be like, hey, I'm gay and that means you should be gay. That's stupid. Nobody's forcing their mindset onto you. Stop victimizing yourself. You being a Christian does not mean that somebody else who isn't a Christian being around you is going to change your own mindset about being a Christian. You don't have to bring up religion in every single topic or every single conversation. It doesn't have to be that way. You can both respectfully be around each other and it will be fine. Nobody is gay and they're going to tell your kid, oh, be gay, and your kid will suddenly be gay. It doesn't work that way. If they are not gay, they're not gay. If they're straight, they're straight. Grow up. Stop being such a bigoted fool. It doesn't take anything out from you, it doesn't take anything out from you to hang out around people who do not have the same beliefs as you. It does not. If you have decided that you are not gay, or you feel that being gay is a choice, that also means that you being straight is a choice. And you choosing to have sex with the opposite sex does not mean that you're better than the other person that decided to have sex with the same sex. Doesn't change anything. It does not. It does not. Gay people will not come and rape you. Rapists will rape you. Black people wouldn't come and steal your stuff. Thieves will steal your stuff. Do you get it now? White people will not harm you or kill you in the woods. Thieves, killers will kill you in the woods. Do you get it now? Igbo people aren't all evil or all greedy. Greedy people are greedy. Yoruba people aren't all weak or all mouth. People who brag a lot are just braggy. It's not a tribe thing. Yes, the people that they are around can bring up those attributes, and you see it a lot more in certain regions than others, but it does not mean that every single one of them is like that. Think for yourself. Don't have one pastor telling you that you dropping your seed at the beginning of the month, knowing damn well you haven't paid your rent you haven't fed your kids, you haven't paid their school fees, you haven't done any of that, is going to help you throughout the month. You're not helping yourself, you're helping him. That's just what it is. You would see like 30 different churches in one street, and most of the people there are poor, and you haven't asked yourself why the pastor is driving a Mercedes Benz into the church. You haven't thought about it. It doesn't make any sense to you. Yeah, your cognitive thinking is just zero, nothing. Stop it. Okay. With that being said, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Be better, and I'll see y'all.